Hi everyone, let's talk about population pyramids. So population pyramids are the breakdown of a population based on gender and age in a given point in time. So if you look over here, this is how you draw it. On your y-axis, so your vertical axis, it's your age group. So as you increase in your height, the older your age groups or your population gets. And it's split between males and females. You can flip them around if you prefer, but generally it's male on the left, females on the right. And your horizontal axis, your x-axis, can show either the percentage of your population that each bar represents or the number of people each bar represents. But they roughly show the same thing, so it's kind of almost interchangeable. But make sure that you do remember that, because some questions may ask you about the percentage, some questions may ask you about the actual number, the absolute number. So here are some features. The height of your population pyramid, especially if it's bulked at the top, so there's a lot of old people at the top, that shows high life expectancy. Your width of your base, so your bottom, the most bottom part, the most bottom bar of your population pyramids, they include the age group 0, so that can indicate birth rates, because your infants that are born in that year or that given point in time. Slopes represent your death rate generally, but sometimes may show migration as well. But we'll look at death rate as an example. For these two, as you can see, this graph, this slope, is less steep than this slope. So this slope is kind of like this, and this slope is more inclined, and that shows that this has more deaths than this part. As you can see, this bar decrease is more in this bar. So the gentler your slope is, the flatter your slope is, the higher deaths you have, and vice versa for steeper ones. As for wasting, wasting is just the narrowing of in the middle of your population pyramid. As you can see down here, it's the middle that is decreasing rather than the top or the bottom. And that can suggest there's migration or maybe war. As for area, you can highlight specific parts or highlight the entire thing. That shows the total population or the percentage of population that the thing that you've highlighted represents. As for sex imbalance, that can suggest migration or war as well. As war, men are the ones generally getting conscripted, so they're the main casualties during war. So you have more women. Maybe migration. If you have migration inside, the men are the generally ones migrating, whereas if you have the people migrating outside, men are the general ones migrating. So you have more women in that place with more out migration. So these two are classic examples of high-income countries and low-income countries. For high-income countries, this is kind of similar to the USA, where it's quite vertical and it's quite straight, which represents lower death rates because you have advanced healthcare, better developments in medicine, so you don't have a lot of deaths between your age groups. You have it's very tall in height, and it's bulky at the top, which represents high life expectancy, again with the medicine stuff. But your base is kind of narrowing, so as you can see, it's decreasing in width. That represents declining birth rates and low birth rates as well, because it's relatively small. If we look at this LIC one, as you can see, it's a distinct pyramid shape that suggests that the same percentage of people are dying as you increase your age group. So as you can see, this is less steep. This is gentler than this vertical one. So you have higher death rates. It's less tall, and there's not much bulk at the top, which represents lower life expectancy for LICs. And the width, the bottom, the base is quite wide, which suggests that there's a lot of births and maybe there's increasing birth rates. And let's move on to some interesting shapes down here. This one is caused by migration or war. Migration-wise, there can be two ways. Either it's similar to this structure, but there's a lot of in-migration from the elderly, so at the top. So originally it was like this, but because of the influx of elderly people, it kind of spread this bulk at the top and led to this. Or it can be something like this, pyramid shape, and you have the migration away of your working age people, your economically active people. So these people leave, and then that leads to this population shrinking down. War can contribute as well, because your working age is generally the people that are getting conscripted in war, and that leads to your casualties, which leads to your shrinking population of that age group. This one is a population pyramid of Qatar. Qatar has a sex imbalance, I believe, of 3-1, so 3 men for 1 woman. That's because of the large influx of men migrating for work. So you have a lot of in-migration, which are generally by men. So of the working age, and for men's side, you have a bulge there. You have a small bulge for the women because they're bringing in their wives, maybe their dependents, but it's not as much as the influx of men. Yeah. As for this one, this represents countries like Niger. So you at the bottom, as you can see, is a concave shape, which means at the bottom the slope is flatter. That represents a high infant mortality rate because you have a lot of deaths in your younger years, as compared to your older years, which is generally quite less steep. Oh, sorry, steeper. This represents the population pyramid of Japan, because Japan had 2 baby booms. So after World War II, if we kind of go back in time, over here is after World War II, and there was a baby boom with an influx of a lot of births, which expanded the population. But after the momentum of the post-war baby boom, it kind of shrunk, your birth rate shrunk, but then your baby boomers, they induce another baby boom, because they are having children as well. So after it shrinks, it expands again, but less than the initial baby boom. So over time, it kind of will even out and cancel out. So it won't have a too bad of an effect. That's generally. So that sums up population pyramids. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video.